Alright, I'm back and changes have been made. I realized I have been complaining about not having clay. I keep saying I don't have enough clay. May I just tilt you down a second? That's apparently not enough. It is. I just until it was all grouped together, much like trauma, I didn't realize how much I had. Ah! Oh my god. Alright, so let's try this again, shall we? Yeah. Can you see? I'm gonna be building. Yeah? Okay. It's probably better that way. Alright, I didn't want the styrofoam to get stuck to this, but we'll just cover it up. Alright, this is decent. Wow. Should probably use a tool because my hands, at the end of the day, I can't even move my fingers sometimes. I should go to the GP, but we're talking about NHS here, bro. I've got other health issues that are more concerning than my hand hurts. Okay. I think this will work better. Smoosh it together and then around. Voila. You got it. Ooh! I don't know what fell, but something fell. Something fell. Okay, never mind. Alright. Let's build up now. And by build up, I mean I'm genuinely just going to like smoosh it on. See, now that it's like getting divided, I don't even know if it'll be enough for what I would like to do. No, I'm really panicking here. No, you're not gonna lose your job. Oh my god. Do you know that meme? The one where he's like, this bald guy with glasses talking about how he's scared he's gonna lose his job, and British, by the way, meme. Did you know he was a pedophile? He got caught, and he was panicking because he got caught for being a pedophile. I thought it was just. Same goes for that other meme from the American movie. That's like, since you got a degree and you think you know everything, yo, the whole dialogue, the woman, oh my god, oh, gave me PTSD. I couldn't listen to the whole thing because the woman is essentially crying because she thinks her daughter is seducing her boyfriend. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's some sick shit out there, man. People are to their own child, you know. And unless you've lived it, it's one of those things where you're going, nah, that just happens in movies. Well, child, movies get inspiration from somewhere. Life doesn't imitate art. Art imitates life. Art is always trying to reach what we experience through life. That's the purpose of art, to help us reframe everything. But unfortunately right now in society it's more for people trying to imitate art and look up to imitating art. People don't really want to be art, you know. They don't want to be an artist as such. Their idea of being an artist is very different from what Van Gogh would consider an artist. Genuinely. If he would go, hot take, but I think if Van Gogh saw all his artwork and the way it's presented, he would hate it. That's just my opinion. But then again, in my opinion, the only reason why Van Gogh is Van Gogh, because his brother felt guilty about you know, not really supporting Vincent as much as he would have liked to. From letters and such, we do see that there was a very, very beautiful bond between the two, and you know, the brother was funding Vincent's life as an artist. Yes, they came from money as such, but they didn't. It wasn't. It was still working money, you know, and Vincent's brother had like an art exhibition place in Paris that was very well known, and he put up a couple of Vincent's impressionist work when the whole impressionist thing was happening, and that's how he didn't get famous through that, because bear in mind Vincent was still alive at that point. He didn't quite like the Paris scene. He didn't know that they were doing impressionism, and that, you know, his work did not rely upon the others in the art scene as such. He just sort of did his own thing. I think that's why I gravitated towards him quite a lot. Oh, that Doctor Who scene where Doctor Who brings Vincent back, and oh my god. But that was the scene that at first it was touching, but then I started thinking about how Vincent was treated, how he viewed the art world and society as such back then. And let's be fair, we, at least in the art world, we look upon that time period as the golden period, you know, where that's where all these movements come about, all this. Now it's all static. It's all just, everything is contemporary or modern art or conceptualism. You know, it's also grouped. Everything is grouped into one as such, and it can be right now. So, why was I talking about that? It's so random. Going back to Vincent, he, in my opinion, wasn't meant to. I do not like what we have done to his life. I really don't. I don't enjoy seeing erasers with his face and his ears cut off, and then right next to it is his bloody ear, you know, like I mean literally the bloody ear, stuff like that. It just, the amount of overexploitation that happens of artists, and it doesn't even have it is art is the one place where the gender is not a question in how exploited one is, or how out of control their life is, you know, much like life. But I really don't like the fact that, hey, at least in my opinion, I am pretty sure it was Winston's brother's way of just keeping Winston alive. And, you know, man, loss is such a... It's a very intricate environment to step into, because it has to be done alone. It can't be... Even if someone has lost a parent before, even if someone has your experience of you losing your particular people, there's just no reference point for it. There's no... You don't even realize what parts you miss. Like, my mom isn't in my life. She hasn't spoken to me practically since I was like 19. We've had a very rough relationship, and we've completely stopped talking now, and for the most part we didn't have much of a healthy relationship, to be fair. But I still, you know, I used to hate her screaming my name, but now, since it's the only thing left, my cousins and I, we grew up together. And our grandparents raised us. My grandma would pick up the phone, and she would really shyly say hello, like this in this really tiny little voice, and then go right back to normal voice, her normal cadence and everything. And I remember my cousin and I, we would sort of make fun of her for it. Not fun, but, you know, just like banter between family. And I never thought that way of her talking, it's one word, hello, but till this day, I was 19 when she died. I'm 28. Till this day, that word, her saying it, that's the only what do you call it? Like, that's the only memory I have of her voice. And we don't realize this, you know, when we aren't even really fully in the moment, of course, but when we are in the moment as such, we don't fully know what parts of another stays and what parts decide to go. So as much as I don't agree with how Winston's like whole life, his entire life has been, this was a man who was suffering when he was alive, and all he was trying to do was make something out of it. And what does he get? What does he get even after death? Nothing but exploitation. Nothing but other people's guilt taking over who he was. Think about it. I remember when I was first enamored by the art world, I thought that's where all the people who have suffered can go and are welcomed and are cherished and are, you know, like, it's a place for us. People that have been through, like, things that can't really be talked about, and if they are, it requires a certain level of not control per se, but it requires a little more than words can convey. But then started learning about the art world, you know, like I get obsessive about things. I am working on it. It's not that bad anymore. I can, as long as I don't have the information, I'm okay. I can I can contain myself as such. But I did really want to get like completely ingrained into the art world, until the way I did when I was studying business. I wanted to be a business consultant, so since I was 14, I was working in offices because I wanted to be a business consultant, and the point of a business consultant is to help you expand your business, to help where you're not doing well, blah blah blah. We all kind of know what a business consultant is. So I figured working in offices is the way to find out, and working in startup companies and such is the best way, because there's a give and take that happens where you both know that there is limitations, there's things both sides are trying to learn. And I went real deep, man. I was all in. All in. And I wanted to do the same thing with art. And then I realized, bloody hell, this is not it. I am getting disillusioned. I don't understand what the point of this is. If someone like Jeff Koons can just be so blatantly open about having only done sculpture once. He went to school and he went to one lecture, didn't like how the clay got on his like hands and stuff, so he decided he's just gonna get assistants that know how to work with it. Yet he somehow gets all of the recognition, all of the fame, all of it. He has been so open about, you know, that there is that one thing you can't deny. There is one thing about him. He is rather open about how completely unskilled he is. You cannot deny him that. That being said, just like Anish Kapoor, we'll always hate him. I do not understand why in today's day and age we have entitled humans who aren't even lying. They're not putting any effort in. They're putting such a low amount of effort that they can't even lie properly or make up a story or try and have a connection with their artwork. It's just... Can you tell it's frustrating? Are you sure? Hey, it's kind of looking... Hey, there's something there, okay? Wow. Oh my god, this case is tough today. Oh. Once again, I'm just piling clay on. Shall we just focus on the face instead of doing like the whole thing? I think I will prefer that, I'll be honest. Okay. Oh my god. Oh, come on. Cooperate, honey. Yeah. You see the vision. You see the vision? Can you see the vision? You better. Thing is, I fear while I'm working on it, you're not gonna be able to see much of the details. So I'm gonna do my best to keep it facing this way. Hopefully, you'll be able to see enough. Yeah, yeah. Fair enough. Just making sure it's still recording. Okay. Let's get started. Right, give him that clavicle. Oh my god, clavicle. Jesus Christ. Thing is, I can't bring myself to I feel so bad for that boy. I genuinely do. You can tell that classic example of kids who grew up in pandemic. Because we all know nothing has been the same since pandemic. These are kids. I went clubbing recently, and by recently I mean like 2 years ago now. 2, maybe 1. After COVID, and I my first experience of clubbing was pre-COVID. 2016 I think was the first time I went to a club. Let me tell you guys, oh my god, I did not know how dire the situation was. Like, I kept hearing that clubs are closing, people aren't going out, blah blah blah, kids aren't, dancing in the club, and like everyone's about, oh, I thought this is how the club experience is gonna be like in the movie Honey, and like, and I was like, child, that's how it sort of was. What are you on about? That is how it is. Until I went, and I was like, oh my god, oh dear lord, this is not fun. Random people would just come up to you while you're dancing and put their phone on your face and start acting like you've been dancing with them the whole night, or you started talking in the cigarette area, smoking area or something. And it just was baffling experience. The lack of like social norms being followed, but at the same time the social awkwardness, it just was so palpitable. I zoned out for me. Like, I dissociated. I literally went back to that clubbing experience. It was so traumatizing. And I went with a girl that had never really gone clubbing before, I'm pretty sure. And she didn't really understand. Well, at least it seemed like she didn't understand how, how people talk with their eyes with each other, especially with friends and stuff. You can just sort of Yeah, she didn't quite get that. And it wasn't like, oh, that's how she was in all situations. No, it was unique to that circumstance, which is very odd. But nonetheless, that was a very bad experience. And I was like, oh my God, I get it now. I truly understand what everyone has been on about. Because yes, this is horrible. I would never want to go clubbing if I thought that is how it is. But it really isn't the case. We've lost our marbles. We truly have. Is this visible? Yeah. Just rough notchings. Should I have started with the ear? No, probably not. Honestly, I don't. But I think it's fine. Give him that 90-degree jawline. Get some liquid in you. That's the gun. That's me pointing at you because you haven't got anything to drink. Alright, let's smooth out the face. Ah, there we go. Wow. I'm pretty sure you can't see much of the work I'm doing, I'll be honest. Wow. Ah! Oh my god.